Welcome back to another episode of the Cover 2 podcast. As always, I'm your host, Lawson Turner, and let's dive right into last night's NBA action. The Dallas Mavericks. Wow. They take game one, 108, 105 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and I thought that this game kind of went exactly not how I thought, because I did think there were things Dallas can do that can wither the Timberwolves defense. Now, we saw Jaden McDaniels continue to be hot as he's been the past three games. 6 for 9 from three. He ended the night with 24 points and led the Timberwolves in scoring 40 rebounds, 3 assists as well. I thought Anthony Edwards was tired's not the word. I felt there was a foul either in the second or third quarter where he went up for a layup and he got hit in the face. And I thought from that point on, whether I don't know if it was he couldn't get his vision back right. I don't know if he was hobbled by something. I don't know if it was fatigue from going through a 7 game war with Denver. I don't know what the case may be. But let's dive into what Dallas did. I thought Dallas was fantastic, especially Kyrie in the first half keeping them afloat. He was sensational. Now, the biggest play of the game to me, with 106 left, Luka Doncic, he breaks up a lob to Rudy Gobert with 1:06 left when they were only up two, and then hit what would be the dagger over Jaden McDaniels on the other end. Now, games like this don't end without some kind of controversy. Karl-Anthony Towns had a putback dunk that got ruled, that got immediately, it looked like a good putback to me, but it got ruled offensive interference right when Cat was, going back up the court, and it was reviewed and determined almost immediately. It was one of the fastest reviews I can remember that the officials go to the scores table and then they just immediately say yes, it's a good no basket. Which that would have tied the game and maybe it would have been different, but let's dive into some of the individual players. Luka Doncic, fantastic game, especially in the fourth quarter. He had 33 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and a block. He was 12 for 26 overall, but throughout the first 3 quarters, he was shooting well under his normal efficient self, and he didn't. He was one make short of the 50% that we've seen him be really we've seen him be in the playoffs throughout his playoff career. Let's highlight just his fourth quarter. Played all 12 minutes, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, a block, 5 of 8, 2 for 3 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Now, I brought up that Dallas was the worst free throw shooting team percentage wise in the playoffs going into last night's game. They only missed one, and it was that Luka free throw in the fourth quarter. They were 16 of 17 from the free throw line. Minnesota still shot more at 18, but they only made 11. I was surprised and happy to see Dallas bounce back from their free throw woes that they've shown all postseason long. Kyrie Irving, sensational. He 30 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He was awesome. I thought Derek Lively was great off the bench. And it's going to be interesting to see because I assume Daniel Gafford will still get not majority minutes, but he'll still, start the game. But could we see a turn of the tide? Could we start to see there is an argument for Derek Lively to start over Daniel Gafford. And now Derek Lively, 9 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. Made all 4 of his shots, and the one free throw he took, he made it. He led the team in plus minus at a plus 19. Coming off the bench, when you have a team that has Naz Reid coming off the bench, and he's gonna generate a spark offensively, defensively, you're gonna need a center that can not contain that because Naz Reid can play inside and a really strong perimeter game. I do think that they both had really good games for their roles. Like I mentioned, Derek Lively's numbers. Let's go to Naz Reid's numbers. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 9 from the floor, 3 for 6 from 3. Really nice. Another strong performance coming off the 6th man of the year. I thought Rudy Gobert played as good as he could have, given, Rudy kept playing in a drop coverage, which is when you're guarding a pick and roll, if you're the center or whoever's man is guarding the screen, you're not up high at the screen to immediately pick up the ball handler. You're more backed up, hence the term drop back. And given what given Rudy's assignment, I thought he played a good game. 12 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, a steal, 2 blocks, 4 of 8 total from the floor. In drop coverage, I assume that the adjustment's going to be because Kyrie Irving in the first half, he was eating Rudy alive off the drop. He was closing the distance so fast. Rudy almost didn't have enough time to recover, whether it be Kyrie pulling up at like the elbow or just inside the paint, whether he was driving and finishing with either hand. I thought that the role players for both of these teams, their role players know exactly what to do. They know their role. Jaden McDaniels, not 3 and D, but mainly D and 6 for 9 from three. I think that this was a game Minnesota. They didn't have to win, but damn, how many more of these six? How many of these games where Jaden McDaniels leads your team in scoring and a 6 for 9 from three that you're gonna squander away? Because there's gonna be a regression back down to the mean. Now let's dive into Anthony Edwards. I thought he played a like I mentioned earlier, I thought that after he got hit in the face, or it was a fatigue thing, that he just didn't look at his normal aggressive self. 19 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 steals. He was 6 of 16 from the floor, which that's not the Anthony Edwards we've seen in attack mode in the Phoenix series and the beginning of the Denver series. He took 12 threes and made 5 of them, which when you're treating somebody, not saying that Ant can't shoot, but he's classified as a non-shooter. Like if he takes 12 threes, you're playing into Dallas's hand as to what Dallas wants him to do. Do not let him get his 2 feet in the paint. Now, speaking of the paint and shots in the paint, he only took 3 shots inside the paint and missed all 3 of them. I mean, he took a mid range from the elbow, and it was kind of a step inside the paint. But I mean, in the paint, I mean at the rim. He took 3 shots the whole entire game at the rim and missed all 3 of them, which we've seen Cat be sensational around the rim all postseason long. Karl Anthony Towns is going to have to step up in game 2 if they want to bounce back. 16 points and 7 rebounds is, it's a below average Karl Anthony Towns game, but he shot 6 of 20 and 2 for 9 from 3. So we're going to need him to be. He was aggressive. He led the team in shot attempts, but you got to get him to go down, especially in a Dallas against a Dallas team in which you're being guarded by PJ Washington. You have the size, you have the size and weight advantage to be able to in a in to where in that matchup you should be able to dominate it on the offensive end of the floor. Let's dive into some team stats that I thought were surprising, other than what I mentioned earlier in the Dallas only missing 1 free throw all night. Dallas was 6 of 25 from three. They could not hit the wide side of a barn for the majority of the game. They shot 24%, and that's 6 3-pointers made. That's 18 points from the 3-point line. While Minnesota shot 49, which that's 24 more than Dallas, and they made 12 more. That's 36.7%, 18 of 49, and that's 54 points from the three. So that's a 36-point discrepancy when it comes to the two different teams, the differential. And you don't normally see teams when they win the 3-point line by that high, scoring difference lose these games. And Minnesota found their way to lose. Now, Dallas, in my opinion, also just dominated in the paint. They had 62 points in the paint to Minnesota's 38. Now, that might have been with them shooting damn near 53s. It could have also been with Anthony Edwards taking 12 threes and not being as aggressive, getting downhill, playing in the lane, and getting 2 feet in the paint and forcing Dallas in rotation. But with all that being said, I still expect Dallas to win the series overall. I do expect Minnesota to bounce back and take game 2 and reclaim home. Well, not reclaim home court, because Dallas now, after winning game 1, the first game 1 win under Jason Kidd, and their first game 1 win since their series in 2021 against the Clippers, this is their moment to. If Dallas can take game 2, I'm not going to say it's over yet, because we saw Minnesota go up 2-0 against Denver, lose the next three, and then bounce back at home, and then go on to win Game 7 on the road. It's nothing that they've proven that they can win on the road. They've proven that. They beat Denver 3 times on the road, and then the two road games against Phoenix, they won those. So I'm not counting them out on the road if they fall into an 0-2 hole. But it's going to be very difficult to come back against a team where you have two of the best offensive guards maybe ever, and it's going to be such a tough, tough road win. Luka and Kyrie combined for 63, and you lose by three because I thought Minnesota overall did a really good job. 33 points on 26 shots for Luka is not efficient, and it took Kyrie 23 shots to score 30. So you're forcing them to, shoot 49 shots between both of them. So you're making it tough. You're making it as tough as you possibly can. But those two guards are some of the biggest shot creators, takers, and makers, especially this year and this postseason that they've been outstanding in. Well, that's all I have for you guys for this episode and reaction to Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals on the Cover 2 podcast. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at the Cover 2 Pod 26. 2 on Twitter is spelled T-O. Link will also be in the description to make it a little bit easier to find. Let me know in the comments below, who do you guys see taking the series and who wins Game 2? Well, that's all I have. Thank you guys so much for watching. For the cover, for I'm not editing that out. That was too funny. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Cover 2 podcast. As always, I'm Lawson Turner, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.